Peace to all of the kings and queens out there. It's the 13th letter to the cipher. And we're back. We're back again, you all. And I want to thank you for participating once again. And I did not disappoint you. This is the 29th episode of Black History. And as I stated, every show or presentation that you see me doing will be a Black History demonstration. That is the name of all of them. So if you have one that is in particular, just remember the number, okay? What we got here? I can't see here. Okay, there we go. I can see myself. I can see myself now. That's what's up. Okay, now, um, first things first. If you are a black man or a black woman and you got a white Jesus on your wall, take it down and give yourself some respect. Okay? I'm just saying. Number two, the review for that month of Black History Month. I hope that you all are still working on that positivity that you've been working on, uplifting yourself, uplifting others, and making sure that you are participating in the upliftment for Black people all across America. I was just wanted to bring you something real fast because it's Black history, okay? I was out in the mall the other day, and I just so happened to hear these two Caucasian men, and they were talking, and they were talking about how white people were superior to Black people. Now, now how I stumbled upon, or why I stumbled upon this, I really have no idea of why I stumbled upon this conversation. But being the guy that I am, I had to say something, especially, let me get some water here. All right, maybe that sound better. Awesome, right? Okay. And I was in the mall, and like I said, I overheard these two white men discussing how white people are superior to Black people. So I immediately had to say something. You know, like, excuse me, I heard that you were saying that white people are superior to Black people. And he said, yeah. And I said, really? And he began to tell me why. And I told him to stop. I told him to stop telling me why, because he wasn't making any sense. And furthermore, he has been educated by the higher liars, which make him too as being, or placing him to be, as those who are maladjusted. Anytime a white man thinks that he's superior to a Black man, he has been maladjusted. And the reason that I say that is because I believe that Black people are genetically superior based upon reproduction and survival success. That's right. Reproduction and survival success. What do I mean by survival success? Well, survival success could, if you want to, begin with chattel slavery. When we were lynched, when we were hung, when we were raped, when we were set on fire and torn apart in front of the very eyes of our Black woman and our Black child by white people. Okay? And I began to ask him a question. I said that, seeing that you feel that you, being the white man, is superior to black people, I say, well, do you think that you could endure having going through chattel slavery? Do you think that you could endure having the worst food, the worst medical attention, the worst housing, the worst schooling? Not to mention, you have no social or political structure. Do you think that the white man could endure the slavery that we've gone through? I don't think so. Now, keep in mind that slavery was also used to wipe out or clear out the weaker gene pool. It's always a cleansing process. As they say, only the strong survives, right? Right? But I tell you one thing, there's no way possible that the Caucasian man or woman could have endured the years of slavery that we have been through, sun up to sundown, no sunscreen, no sunscreen. And according to Frederick Douglass, they sometimes wore no clothing, sometimes were not fed, sometimes were beaten just for the fuck of it. You understand me? Now, how long can white people stay in the sun without catching skin cancer? I'm just saying. Now, they too, and by the way, those are actual facts. Okay, I'm just saying. And for those who continue this process of enslavement is law enforcement. Because law enforcement does what? They shoot you down in the street. They shoot you down in the streets like dogs. And for those of you who don't get shot down in the streets like dogs, they lock you up in chains and enslave you in jail, in prison. Hey, Victoria's Secret, J.C. Penney, and it's a few other companies that use this prison industry to manufacture their clothing or their products. So you all may want to look that up before the next time you purchase something from retailers who are actually supplying you with free labor that they're actually producing from the hands and minds of black people. I'm just saying. Now, I told the guy, I say, if you think that you are superior, I say, how about you do this? How about you let black people enslave white people from 1555 until now? And it's still taking place to this day. We'll get off into that later. And it's still taking place to this day. Like I say, look at your prison system. When you can show me that you can endure when you can endure chattel slavery like we did and suffer the trauma and the atrocities that Caucasians heaped upon black people, and we heap them upon you along with the lynchings and the rapings and the robbings. Okay? And then we'll see if you're superior. We'll see if you're superior at that time. And like I say, how long can you stay in the sun without catching skin cancer? From sun up to sundown, not to mention not being paid, not to mention not eating, not to mention sometimes not being clothed. Do you really think you can make it? Do you really think you can make it? Not to mention the fact, in addition to what I was just saying, that you all have a problem photosynthesizing with your own bodies. That's right. You all have a problem synthesizing with your own body. Why do I say that? simply because you can convert sunlight into energy. Isn't that what plants do? Convert sunlight into energy so that they can grow. And I told them, you can't do that. You can't do that. We're not going to even talk about sports. White man can't jump. He's just tall enough to reach the rim. Have you ever seen a white man the height of Spud Webb win an NBA dunk contest? I'm just saying. You have to ask yourself, what were black people doing when Caucasians came out of the Ice Age? See, these are the questions that I threw at him. You see? But not only that, I had to ask him, well, you have to ask yourself, who taught you how to make fire? Who taught you how to cook your food? Why do you think you see that black Moses there? That statue of the black Moses in DC? I'm just saying. Those are actual facts. Well, where do you get your information from? Someplace that you don't. Now, thus far, the information that I gave you was common sense. It's just common sense. It's just common sense. The guy standing there, he's getting all red in the face and everything, but you can't fight the truth. And me hearing that you saying that white people are superior to black people, you got me fucked up. I'm just getting started, yo. Straight up. And then he poses the question, well, you all are just good in sports and, basketball and this and that. And I told him this here. I said that if you practice or play basketball all day long, there's a great chance that you will become a good or great basketball player. If you go to the library or you read nonfiction books all day, it's a great chance that you will become what they call a scholar. So it's safe to say that if black people whom you have robbed them of their intellect, if given the very same opportunities that the higher liar has, that the white guy learned from, which I explained to him, and the privileged white, which I explained to him, that what you're doing, we would even do it better. Well, how was that? Well, where did you go to get civilized? Where did you go for education? Where did your ancestors go for that? That's the question that I posed to him. And he still got rocks in his jaws and everything. And I told him the answer. They went to Kemet. Well, what's Kemet? And I said, you see what I'm saying? Maladjusted. I said, Kemet is what the Anglo-Saxons now call Egypt. That would be you, wouldn't it? You did go there, excuse me, Greeks, Romans, everybody. Kemet was like the modern day America, where everyone from all countries around the world come and flock to for education. That's how Kemet was. Okay? In a nutshell. I'm just saying. Now, in school, they're not going to give you in public or private schools. Remember, they're still ran by the Caucasian, and they are not going to give Black people a positive Black male role model or Black woman role model. They will be more susceptible to giving it to a Black woman. They would more so put her in the front as being a role model versus the man. The Willie Lynch syndrome. Okay. And for those of you who are not familiar with Willie Lynch, well, I highly advise that you read that great piece of information that was developed in 1712. Okay. And like I said, they won't do that for you in regards to giving you a true Black historical figure in school. The only thing that they give you in public and private schools, they give you two Black historical figures. They give you Martin Luther King and they give you Malcolm X. And just from my standpoint and from historical standpoint, they have reduced them down to Martin, I have a dream, and Malcolm, by any means necessary. This is the very same downgrading that they did to Isis and Osiris. This is why you can no longer even see their true continents in the Masonic order today, because it was uprooted from its common sense by the Jews. I'm just saying. Then I began to express to him that scientifically, biologically, and genetically, we are superior to you. I asked him, well, I began to ask him some simple shit like the crayon box thing, what's the most powerful color in that crayon box? And it's really not a color, it's the essence of all colors. You can make that color, that black crayon, and mix it with any color and make all colors in that box. You cannot do that with anything other than that originality of all colors. And I went further to explain to him, when you have a black man and a white woman who mates, or vice versa, that child, you will most definitely know that they have some black in them. No question. You, the Caucasian man, are not biologically, genetically, or scientifically superior. You're just not. And your own science proves that. This is why even in slavery, like when we was in slavery, this is why they even cut off our phallus. We had a superior phallus. And for those of you who don't know what a phallus is your dick. Okay? Now, there's other reasons that they cut off for your phallus, but that most definitely is one of them. Another one was so that you would mate with their women, because their women want that phallus. And what would that do? They knew then that that would kill their survival, because you must remember, this is about genetic survival in the end, about dominance and genetic survival. And as I stated, the easiest way for a people to dominate and genetically annihilate another people is by robbing them of their intellect, which is their common sense. You think about it. You think about that. The images that they also will give you, besides Martin and Malcolm, are images of entertainers, athletes. Because well, what about Michael Jordan and and what about Kaepernick? He speaks, black. No, he don't. I asked him, I say, when have you seen Mr. Bob? When have you seen a athlete, a white athlete, represent white people in regards to being a nation or speaking for the oppressed people of white people? When have you seen a Jew who's an athlete speaks for Jewish people? When have you seen an Arab? Oh, I'm sorry, which is nothing but a Jew, also speak for Arab people who's an athlete? And you can take that to India, you can take that to Akubalan, you can take that to France, you can take that anywhere. No athletes ever speak for a nation of a people. But this is what they give you, black man and black woman. Little boys running up and down the court, playing with their toys. I'm just saying, that's what they give you. They give you those athletes like that, those images like that. And speaking of ball or athletes, for all of you young black men who want to become athletes and what have you not, let me give you some numbers here, okay, and then we'll get back to it. There are 1 million young black men looking to play pro ball. Out of those million, 400,000 will end up playing high school ball. Now, out of those 400,000 that's playing high school ball, 4,000 of them will play college ball. Now, out of that 4,000 that's playing college ball, 35 of them will actually go pro. Now, out of those 35 that go pro, is only 7 starters position. For 7, and by the way, the life in the NBA is what? Or NFL is what? 4 years. So you got 1 million brothers looking to play ball. 400,000 of them play high school ball. Out of that 400,000, you have 4,000 that attend college. And out of that 4,000 that attend college, 35 make it to pro. And out of those 35 that make it to pro, it's only 7 positions that starters. And the lifetime in those sports is only 4 years. So as I was about to say in essence, and I had to go back and retract myself and include another number because it's very important. Because you have 1 million brothers who are looking for 7 full-time jobs that only last for 4 years. You think about that. You think about those numbers, okay? I'm just saying. Getting back to the superiority thing, and after I really came to think about it, I had actually told the white guy, Mr. Bob, you know what? You're right. You're right. You are superior. You are superior. And his buddy was like, weird, kind of fucked up, but like he didn't know what the fuck I was about to say. But I told him, you are superior. I say, you are superior in being the worst serial killer on this planet Earth. You are superior in that. You are superior in destroying the planet. You are superior in that. You are superior in rape. You are superior in robbery and thievery. You are superior in that. And most definitely, you are superior in pedophilia. You are superior. You are superior in demonology and witchcraft. You are superior. He even got on the subject about, well, what about, he was fucked up after that. Mr. Bob was really fucked up after that. But then Mr. Bob wants to come sideways at his face and say, well, what about science and medicine? Because he's not having any room to go anywhere. And all of that is due to self-education, not their education, self-education. But anyway, he got on science and medicine. So I began to ask him, I say, do you know anything about Imhotep? He said, who? I say, Imhotep. I say, he's the high priest of the sun god Ra. That's right. Of the third dynasty. That's right. Where Pharaoh Djoser, yeah, that guy. And that was around the 27th century BCE. Okay? And I say, he said, yeah, that's in Egypt. I say, no, that's Kemet. You call it Egypt. I say, but now what color was these people? Are you familiar with Imhotep? This guy on the phone. This guy's on the phone right now. He's trying to look up Imhotep. And I told him Imhotep was the high priest of the Amun-Ra God. Okay? Point blank. I say this man was the right-hand man of the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh, the Joseph. He was the right-hand man. I say, in fact, Imhotep was the individual who built the step pyramids at Saqqara for Pharaoh Djoser burial site. Okay? Medicine? Are you serious? He said, what does that have to do with medicine? I say, this guy was a multi-genius. I say, not only was he what you may want to call the father of medicine, okay? Yes, the father of medicine. He was a doctor. He was an astrologist. He was a musician. He was a poet. He was a mathematician. And he was a mason. He was a high priest. Yes, he was a mason, a real mason, not Scottish Rite bullshit and the Prince Hall Mason bullshit. No, he was a real mason. You understand? In fact, he also was the individual who first built the first Masonic lodge. You understand? Real talk. Real talk. Imhotep. They teach you in school. I told them that they teach you in school that the Chinese came up with the paper. Really? Well, I asked him, how did you begin to explain this black man holding a scroll in his hand made of papyrus? And what is papyrus? Nothing really but ancient paper. Way before the Chinese even existed. But not only that, he was an architect. He was a real mason. He was a builder. Not this pseudo bullshit that you get from the lodges of today. And those who roll with him. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, um, his I think he said his spiritual father, I want to say, yeah, Ra. He was the high priest of the sun god Ra. Yes. And he was an author. He was an author. He wrote books, and he came from a family of physicians, black physicians. And like I said, he is attributed with the name of the father of medicine, the black man, not the white man, Mr. Bob. I'm just saying, not only did we give you medicine and civilize you or taught you that which you did not know, we are superior to you in sports. We are genetically, scientifically, and biology superior to you according to your own scientist. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't know that he was going to run into me today. Excuse me, the other day. He had no knowledge of that. He had no knowledge that he was going to run into your brother, M to the fucking O. Okay? He had no idea of that. And you, too, will run into these white supremacists. You too will run into these people. And I know I have some white viewers who may be viewing me right now. I have some white co-workers that I work with. I have white associates. And some of them are going to be mad. And frankly, I don't give a fuck. Okay? Because you cannot refute anything that I'm saying. And they cannot refute you if you study. If you study thyself, they cannot refute you either. I had to leave him with the frame of mind that I was not his everyday stereotype. But not only that, I had to slap him with some truth. And when you learn about yourself, don't hesitate to speak about the injustice that the maladjustment has done to you, but not only done to you, but has done to others, because that maladjustment has allowed them or made them think the way that they think and conduct themselves or behave a certain way towards you because they too have been maladjusted. I'm just saying. So the next time you see a white guy and he want to talk that shit, or you see a white woman and she want to pop that bullshit, you remind her or him that it was you who taught their ancestors, who was in the hillsides of Europe, crawling on all fours. You make sure you tell them that. You make sure that you tell them that which I just expressed to you in this video. And yes, you will lose some associates. Yes, people will look at you differently. Yes, people will do what they do. But at the end of the day, you are being defined by your own definition and not by that which is of others. But in reality, and to be technically correct, you are that because it is proven scientifically and validated by their own higher liars. So, truth in that matter, you will be successful. If there's anything that I've said that you've liked or that you can use and apply to your life, to your friend's life, to your family's life, to your neighbor's life, we as a Black people must stand up and know thyself. We have been robbed of our common sense, and you wonder why the white man thinks that you're superior. Excuse me, inferior. If there's anything that I've said, by all means, press that subscribe button. If there's anything that I've said, by all means, press that subscribe button. And tomorrow, we'll be back. We'll be back again tomorrow. Here again with some more common sense. All right, you all. Thanks for watching, family. I'll be seeing you all tomorrow. Peace, love, and by all means, have some respect for yourself. Stay away from the po-po, and do not drink and drive. Love yourself, know thyself, and treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Peace.